Welcome back, Colonels. So today I kind of wanted to do a little bit of an update video as we just had San Diego Comic-Con this weekend, and I kind of just wanted to unpack everything. If you guys go over to my good friend Chainsaw Reacts, my live reaction to everything that happened during the Comic-Con is there, so maybe I'll put a link to his little video that he made now there, so if you want to go check him out. But I'm kind of just going to be talking about just my thoughts and just everything that I'm currently thinking about the MCU, as it is a very big topic this weekend. So real quick before we dive in, if you are new here, consider subscribing so you don't miss any other discussions or MCU talks or anything like that. And let's dive in. So the first thing I want to talk about, we're gonna kind of just go in order here, is Captain America: Brave New World. And we got a lot of little new details. Of course, we got the usual jokes about how, you know, Anthony Mackie now has his own Captain America movie, so he can now kind of diss Tom Holland from that comment he made years ago that, you know, he didn't have his own movie. So that is pretty funny.
I need to watch this movie.
You haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming? I haven't seen the Falcon. Oh no, there isn't one. Sorry.
One of the bigger things that they had talked about with the cast on stage is a scene that everyone got to see that was actually at Comic-Con, where Harrison Ford is, you know, the president. He's like standing in front of a podium, and then in front of everyone, he turns into the Red Hulk. And I guess just kind of maybe goes crazy. I'm not totally sure what happens after that. But those were the main details that I did hear was shown at Comic-Con. Another thing that we heard about the movie, which we did kind of already know, I mean, if you watch the trailer, it's very obvious. This movie takes heavy inspiration from Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which, if you know me, the Winter Soldier is my favorite MCU character, probably my favorite Marvel character as a whole. And knowing that they're taking inspiration from that movie makes me oh so very happy. And I cannot wait to see this movie in February. The last thing that they did talk about was Giancarlo Esposito. I think that's how you pronounce his name. They talked about his character in the movie, and there were a lot of theories going around and this and that, but it is definitely confirmed that he is playing the head of the Serpent Society, Sidewinder. So I guess we're gonna get to see that side of the MCU. And I'm really excited to see him in the MCU because, as you guys know, he is just so great. I do also want to mention they didn't really talk too much about him, just that, you know, that he's ready to be back in the MCU. The leader, the guy who plays Leader, was there at Comic-Con as well, so I can't wait to see him back as well. Moving into the Thunderbolts, this is probably the one that we got the least, a decent amount of information about, but I was hoping that maybe we'd get a trailer by now, but I guess they're gonna be waiting just a little bit longer for a trailer. So the one thing that they did confirm, there was a lot of rumor for a while it was confirmed, but then there was up in the air. Sentry is still the villain along with Val from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I think she was also at the end of Black Widow, maybe something like that. But they will be the main villain, and they kind of gave a little statement about what the movie, where it's gonna start at. And it's when I first heard of this movie, I thought it was gonna be more of a Suicide Squad thing, and maybe it could still be kind of. But from what I've heard, it's gonna be more they don't know that each one of the others is going on this mission. Ghost is gonna meet Red Guardian on the scene and not know that they were both assigned to that I don't know, it's gonna be kind of cool. I guess they might be fighting for position here, so I guess that's gonna be kind of cool dynamic to see how that kind of goes into. Also, the fact that Red Guardian's suit was shown at the event, he was actually wearing it when he walked in, so we kind of have a new look at his suit. And we got a little look at the cast, which we kind of already knew the main cast going into it. But most of them will have new suits or newer looks going into this movie, which is cool. Next up, we have Fantastic Four, my most anticipated movie of next year. We did get quite a bit of information about this. So the first thing that they did, they had this backdrop of the retro futurism 60s style universe that they've been describing to us. And then they had the Fantastic Car coming up and along the side and showing off that. And then I guess they did show them a little, they haven't started filming yet, but I guess they filmed a little promotional footage thing. And that looked really cool. I've seen some snippets of that online where they actually do show Galactus looking into, I'm guessing, the Baxter building. that was pretty cool. I don't know how involved Galactus will be in this movie, but I'm very excited to see him. Anything else that they really talked about? They just kind of teased all the characters a little bit, and the biggest thing there was just to show you what they meant by the style that they were going for. And I'll see if I can find any images to show here when I'm talking about it. But it looks really cool, and it looks very different from our current era of the MCU. I'm just really excited to see, you know, this universe play out. It almost looks like the Incredibles mixed with the Jetsons. It's really neat. So just, I don't know. I'm really excited to see that universe play out. The other two updates is that one, it's already officially started filming. I think they started filming yesterday, so they are already filming Fantastic Four. And it's also has a slight name change called the Fantastic Four, The First Steps. So that's really interesting. I don't know, I'm really excited to see where they go with this. Moving on to our final piece of news, we got some news about our next two Avengers films, and there's a lot to unpack here, so just kind of stay with me for a minute. First off, Avengers the Kang Dynasty, completely scrapped. They did not mention it. They replaced it with a different Avengers movie, and I have no idea how they're going to write Kang out of the MCU, but I'm hoping that it is at least worth its time, because I was a big fan of Kang in the MCU. I know not a lot of people were. You know, I had talked about how a lot of people didn't like Kang with the whole Ant-Man Quantumania situation. I was not one of those people. Not to get into it too much, but a lot of people had a big issue with the fact that he got destroyed by ants in that movie. And to that I say two things. One, we kind of know about how intelligent those creatures were because of like how much they'd gone through. But even more so, the reason Kang wasn't as much of a threat in there was quite literally the reason why he got put into that place in the first place. He doesn't have access to time there. That's quite literally his whole thing, is that if, you know, he needs access to time. He is a time threat. And so, I don't know. I just don't think that people quite understood that, or I don't know. I was a big fan of Kang. It's really unfortunate what happened with Jonathan Majors, but I guess we're just kind of moving forward now. But to move on, they are officially calling the next Avengers film Avengers Doomsday, and you know what that means. It means that Doctor Doom is coming to the MCU, and if you know that title, you'll know that, so by that title, you already know that, you know, Doctor Doom is coming to the MCU. How could you not think that? And you probably already know by now that Robert Downey Jr. will be playing Doctor Doom. Yes, Iron Man himself will be playing Victor Von Doom. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see him, and just, I don't know. I know a lot of people are kind of on the fence about this whole decision. I am not one of those people. I'm very excited to see what he does with the character, and just because I have trust in Robert Downey Jr. And I know that, you know, oh, well, he played Iron Man, but, you know, we've had some characters been played by the same character or same actor or actress in this universe before. You know, maybe not quite as big as Iron Man, but still. And I think the biggest thing about this is that you have probably the biggest hero in the MCU, one of the biggest villains in the MCU. And I think that's so poetic, and I think the things that it'll do to our main cast will be insane. I cannot wait for those interactions on screen. Also, we did get a new little logo for Avengers Secret Wars. It's not like more of a red looking logo. So that's coming out in 2027, and then Doomsday is coming out in 2026. We also got our directors announced, which will be the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers are coming back for Avengers 5 and Avengers 6. So I cannot wait to see them back for those projects, because they have a pretty good track record with the MCU. You know, we might have a little bit more news coming in August with D23, but that was pretty much all that was announced at Comic-Con this year. So, you know, let me know down in the comments below what you are kind of thinking. You know, are you excited for, you know, D23? Are you excited just for the announcements? What Marvel project are you looking forward to most right now, or maybe even just next year? For me, it's still definitely Fantastic Four. I just think that movie is going to be phenomenal. I cannot stop talking about it. I know people were kind of on the fence if Pedro Pascal was going to be a good match for that movie, and I think he will be. After seeing him in the little new test footage that they did, I think he will be fantastic. So, no pun intended. Thank you all so much for watching, and stay tuned for more Marvel discussions and videos coming soon. Till then, guys, peace.